Okay, I swear I'm doing this without even looking at my phone. It's Sunday, July the 7th. I don't know what month almost came out of my mouth, but I'm like, yesterday was the 6th, today's gotta be the 7th. Correct? Because, yes, I fucked that up more than once yesterday. And it's like, well, maybe almost 8. Yes, it's 7:52. I've been asleep for a bit, of course. We know this is what happens on my weekends. When I have no reason to get up, I just sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep. But Mom is going to be here at some point. Her and Carol are on Carol's birthday adventure. I don't know what they did. She probably told me at some point. This is, I don't know. They usually do casinos or something. They usually go maybe down to like that area in Oklahoma. Like, it's either Miami. Mom calls it Miami, even though a lot of the locals have corrected her and like, do you mean Miami? So I think it's like Missouri. Some people say Missouri. Some people may say Missouri. Some people say misery. So, I don't know. It's been okay living here for me for 44 years. So, not that bad, I suppose. Other people like, there's nothing. Well, I mean, I don't live in like Kansas City or St. Louis or, anything like that. But people are like, there's nothing to do here. Like, I guess there's not really as many options in the city. I guess instead of just going and shopping at Walmart, you can go shop at Target and Walmart, and a bunch of different little stores, maybe. I don't know. But, that's another sidebar, I suppose. But yes, Mom is planning on being here today at some point, probably later in the day. I think usually they're passing through, because she has some noodles or something she made that she's going to drop off to me. So I ran the dishwasher yesterday. Well, because it was going as I was doing the video. So I washed a couple of her things to give back to her today. But she's going to be here probably later, of course. Probably on 4 or 5. 4 probably at the earliest. 5, 6. But it's like, I want to go ahead and get question of the day out of the way. Just to have it done in case I fall asleep again for many hours. I say as I sit here and yawn. So, we're a week into July, and I dropped my book last night. I hit it with my arm and it fell, and the frickin' my bookmark fell out. If you didn't know what my bookmark felt like or looked like, even though I showed it off day 1, but we're on day 188. It's been a while since you've seen it. But yes, my bookmark fell out, and I had to figure out. I had to find my page again and be like, okay, it's July 6th, because I was looking for yesterday's, because I didn't want to look at today's yet, because I didn't want to know what it was. But I found it. Has the keys to my heart. Wild cherry Pepsi, I guess. Funko Pops. Minxie would like to be in the running. But I guess, the usual boring answer, like family and friends, I guess. But I don't know. I think we're talking about a deeper love here, maybe. Because I say, a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I guess I do enjoy food, but I don't know. I've said many times early on in this process that it's kind of like, in terms of like, I guess when I say the way to my heart, there's different forms of love, I suppose. The key to your heart, whatever, I guess is like more of a love answer to me, is what it sounds like, is my interpretation, I guess, of the question that they're asking. But I don't really do any of that. I don't I don't remember. I don't have passion. I remember that was one of the questions. I have a passion for nothing really. I just kind of exist. I don't know. But I suppose, things I love has the key to my heart. Usually, I guess that's usually what they talk about when someone says has the key to your heart. Because most people's answers would probably be like, oh, my significant other or my children or, you know, something boring like that, I guess. I don't know. It's true, but, I don't have an answer like that to give. So, I mean, I do have family, I do have friends, and I do care for them very much, you know. But I don't know. I mean, I have the key to my own heart, I guess, in some ways, because I have self-love, and not just with my right hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love me. I don't know how many people can, like, actually say that, but, like, I don't want to, like, that's actually one of my fears, to be honest, is, after we die, we get, like, reincarnated as something else, and, like, maybe we have the option, maybe we have the choice, I don't know. Once again, I don't have the answers, and I'm not going to walk around acting like I do, but, like, I'm concerned, like, I want to be me for eternity. I like me. It took me a little bit to get here. I don't know, like, I always think I liked me. I don't know. Maybe subconsciously, maybe secretly, I don't know. But, like, I like who I am. I like the person. I love me, Like, I don't want to be anybody else. I mean, maybe me as a cat, as a house cat, so that I can just live and fucking sleep all goddamn day, Like I do now, but I have to fit in, like, a job and, paying bills and dumb fucking bullshit. So it's like I have the key to my own heart, in terms of that. Mazio's case of pizza. Of course, we don't have a Mazio's anymore. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Food. A lot of food-related things have the key to my heart. Casey's little pulled pork sliders that they got right now. Those are pretty fucking good. I still have half of a barbecue Cuban from Firehouse Subs in the fridge, so that's pretty good too. Cheeseburgers, I guess. We always talk about cheeseburgers, I guess I have an old video. I can't remember what town we're in. We've been back to it. We've actually been back to that mall a couple different times. It's called 90s Decadence. Like, the 90s hold a special place in my heart. I guess it's because when I grew up, that's when I was a teenager, and, like, all that stuff, like, that mall, at least at the time, I think since we've been back, some of it is missing now, but it has, like, that 90s decadence with, like, the mirrored ceilings and the, like, the purple and green, like, neon swoops and stuff, like, if I can remember to find that video, I'll link it down below for you to check out. But yeah, so I guess, like, the 90s and that mall aesthetic that they had in the 90s, like, that holds a special place in my heart. I guess special place in my heart holds the key to my heart, different, same thing, same, different wordage, I guess, but same thing to me, I guess, I suppose, I don't know. I guess nostalgia, like, in some ways, like, we go down to Bagnell Dam, it's, I don't actually know what town it's called. I mean, it's near Osage Beach, but I don't think it is Osage Beach. I think Bagnell Dam is its own town. I think. I don't actually know as many times as I've been down there. But it used to be very Ozarky, If you went down to Bagnell Dam, they had, I think last time Mom and I were here, because I have that video where I filmed, like, the 2-bit town and all that kind of stuff that was, closed. I think they've torn that down now. I was always concerned. We haven't been down there for many, many years. It looks like the giant Indian, I think it's a giant Indian, is still standing there. by the ball, like where you go hit baseballs. It's not open anymore because it's part of that arcade that closed many years ago. But all that stuff was still there. There was like Mom and I went in the creepy things in the back. Once it was a Bigfoot, and it was very kitschy. It was very, it was very old school. Like you walked in and there was this like dummy of Bigfoot standing there in a cage, and like when you walked in, you would like trip a wire or something, or a sensor, and like it would start roaring and be like roar. It wouldn't move. It didn't move. There used to be an outhouse down there. When you opened it up, there was a dummy in there, and it was like, "Hey, I'm in here. Shut the door," or something like that. So when you opened it up, there, you would once again trip a sensor, and it would start being like, "Hey," kind of when you open a birthday card that sings a song or whatever. There used to be one with a lady too, but they took that one out many years ago. I don't know if people thought that was inappropriate or whatever. But yeah, there used to be an old cabin you could go back and look at that they had set up with mannequins again, and there was some. You would walk over this little stream, this little bridge, and over to the side it was somebody was buried, but he wasn't quite dead or something. I can't remember exactly what it said on the little gravestone that they had there, but the foot. They had a boot there that was like, animatronic, I guess. It was mechanical, and the boot would kick, It's one of those, I think that might still be there. There was a giant, like, hillbilly guy, and standing in front of him was like a floating, like, spigot, Because there wasn't anything to the back of the spigot, but I saw it once. As a kid, I could never figure it out what it was looking, because they always had water running down it or whatever. But if you look carefully enough, you can see like a clear tube going up to the top of the spigot, and then the spigot, that's what it's sitting on, is a giant clear tube. Maybe the tube wasn't as clear anymore. That's why you could see it better one time when I was down there. So it was very. They had the maze. They had mini golf. They had bumper boats. They had the Cousin's Crazy Cabin, something like that, where it's one of those like mystery spots where it's like the water looked like it was running uphill, and they had like a seat that was hard to stand up from once you sat down in it, and all this other stuff. So it was very kitschy. It was very Ozark. Very hillbilly, and a lot of that is gone now. And that kind of like there used to be a bar where you could go downstairs and feed the big mouth bass. They were always, and I remember they were just like there waiting for people to feed them. So I don't know what happened after that place went away. I mean, I guess a lot of people got to catch those fish. I guess I doubt that they moved them anywhere safe where people wouldn't be fishing, that because people have been feeding those fucking fish for years. But it was just kind of, there was a dock, and there was like a bar or a restaurant or something there, and there was this tiny little tram that would take you. It wasn't very far. This tiny little tram that would take you, and I mean the thing was like pretty steep. The hill that it would take you down was pretty steep, and of course you could go down the stairs, but that's no fun going down the stairs. But yeah, it was just kind of on this dock, and it was covered, I guess, and this one time a lady accidentally dropped her purse in there, but there was so many fish, like her purse was not sinking; it was just skimming across the top of the fish. And I don't know how they got it out of there, if they did. I don't know. But yeah, like all that stuff is gone now. I mean, Mom and I, when she was, I think I started to say that when I was talking about the hillbilly town and all, 2-bit town and all that stuff. We were looking it up on Google Maps. We were trying to figure, I can't remember what it was that we were trying to look up. But we were kind of going along Google Maps and taking the tour and seeing what stores were still there and, blah, 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 blah. So that's when that's when it looked like the Google car said that the 2-bit town looked like it was gone. You know, there was nothing. It didn't look like there was anything behind the baseball pit thingies, but those were still there, and the arcade that closed many years ago still there. Of course, Dog Patch still there. I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to go out of business. The candy store's still there. The other arcade is still open. But a lot of old games apparently in there. I think somebody was saying, you know, I think there's even like an arm wrestling machine or something in there. I don't know, weird stuff. Oh, she was wanting to see if that one restaurant was still open, or we figured out that it was, and we figured out what building it was in, but for some reason it didn't have a marking or something. I don't know why that building wasn't marked. So, but I mean, I think we looked up their Facebook page and they were like there, but for some reason Google Maps didn't have them noted for whatever reason. So like that area down there, the whole, you know, I guess that's, you know, another old man rant maybe. It's like I remember the way Bagnell Dam used to be, you know. It was I mean the whole area down there, it used to be very Ozarky, you know. It was a lot. It was a simpler time, I guess, a simpler place. And now it's mostly for people who go down there on the boats and party, and you know, it's just not the same. It's not the same, you know, simple little place that it used to be, you know, with its, you know, country simplicity, I guess. I don't know. So it doesn't really, we don't go down. The only reason we ever went down there was, you know, my grandparents had a trailer at a trailer park down there, and it was kind of a free place to, you know, stay, go travel, get out, you know, go take a little weekend trip or something, go take a little weekend trip down to the lake, you know, and go see the stuff at Bagnell Dam and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it hasn't been the same in many years. So that has a piece of my heart, and it's broken, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. You know, it's not the way I remember it from my childhood, for sure. I guess that's a good enough answer this early in the morning. That's all I can really think of. So, I mean, I'm sure there's more, you know, like, you know, Power Rangers, like all the stuff that I guess that I grew up on, you know, has a special place in my heart, whatever. But that list would get very long very quickly, probably. So, and like I said, many different foods have the key to my heart. You know, I love them. I love food. Different foods. Of course, you know, family and friends. Always, of course. But that's about it, I suppose. So I'm going to get this uploaded because it is long enough. And, yeah. I guess I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. But I'll definitely see you for what I see you.